Hey loves, this is for water signs and this is a rune reading for you all today. I love you, my water babies. I'm Jess. Welcome. I like to do rune readings for you guys. I've been reading runes for many, many years. I have my own set of runes that I created out of turtle bone. And I was blessed on my path to, just on my walking path in my travels, a bunch of box turtles carcasses. And I refurbished them, reinvented them, and made them into turtle bone runes. So that's what I use in this bag. And I've already drawn your runes. It also has rings in here. Runes and rings are my readings when you get a rune reading. And remember, this is general. So take what resonates, leave the rest. It's also a timeless reading. So I trust that it will reach those water signs it needs to in divine timing. Let's get started. You got 2 rings and 2 runes, pairs. So you're thinking about relationships in your life, which ones you want to move forward with. This is the growth rune. This is Berkana. And this is the rune for possessions. This is Fehu. And it's in the shadow aspect. It's in reverse. So we've got to talk about that. What's going on in regards to relationships. And you're reviewing them right now while we're in retrogrades. But here's your 2 rings that you got. Okay, interesting how such different colors, right? This brings in a lot of feminine energy. There's a feminine that you're dealing with. This could be familial. It just feels familial relations, like family relations, close relationship, partnerships. I don't know if I'm like, is that a garnet or is that, and then it looks more orange, like a topaz. I don't know, but the same, a teardrop shape, gold, and then this one's more silver. Okay, your rings. The rings that there actually came out when I pulled the runes out, they were on these 2 fingers. Okay, so Jupiter and Saturn. And what they're doing in the sky. I'm not your astrologer. Okay, I'm deciding to put them both on that middle finger, Saturn. Learning some tough Saturn, daddy in the sky, daddy Saturn, all father. This is, I was guided by Odin to do these runes today. I feel like he just came out in my artwork. So I was like, oh yeah, I definitely will bring out my traditional runes and do some readings today for you. So let's get into this. We got to talk about this shadow aspect of Fehu, of possessions. First, I'm going to go to the book on that. And this is telling me that you've experienced, you've experienced some considerable frustration. And maybe in regards to feminine energy too, because this is right below this ring here. Okay. Maybe we'll just read it from the book. A wide range of dispositions, ranging from trivial to severe. You fall short in your efforts. You reach out and miss. You are compelled to stand by and watch helplessly while what you've gained dwindles away. Observe what is happening. Examine these events from an open perspective and ask, what do I need to learn from this in my life? Also, I'm giving you another perspective with this card, okay? The visual, and we'll read too about the dragon. Dragon energy. Dragon, when dragon comes in, you could have been born in the year of the dragon, but like this is about refinement, lessons, self-mastery, dragon energy, okay? So what do I need to learn? This is also a student from this experience with this relationship, with this feminine or whatever. What am I here to learn? What is this teaching me? Even if there is occasion for joy, do not let yourself be seduced into mindless joyousness. Reversed, this rune indicates that doubtful situations are abundant and come in many forms and guises. Here you are being put in touch with the shadow side of possessions, yet all this is part of coming to be and passing away, and not that which abides. In dealing with the shadow side of Fehu, you have an opportunity to recognize where your true Nourishment lies. That's important. And this one. Somebody has been guarded or just kind of hiding away. This always gives me the Man in the Iron Mask vibes from that movie, Man in the Iron Mask. The dragon, the writing underneath the dragon says, excitable with a complex life, stubborn on the outside but soft-hearted inside, a born leader, compatible with the monkey and the rat, but beware of those dogs. Okay, let's move on to your next rune. Where does your true nourishment lie? You're finding that. There's something here, because I was like, what advice am I giving the water signs? And they got the eight of Pentacles reversed, Seven of Swords reversed. This is giving the energy of to try to take shortcuts or hacks. A relationship where somebody's been hiding some things, but their secrets are catching up with them. Yeah. You know the truth here with a stellar J. Like you've been monitoring or somebody's been spying on you here. Flip-flop that if you need to. The fly, the blue jay, the page of pentacles are all spies here. And then startling news, or you've had some sort of revelation here. The illusion is done. The truth is here. You have bigger fish to fry. Don't know what that means, but okay. Well, I'm just looking at this on the bottom of the deck. With the fish above your head as the masculine. Okay, you're a tiger right now. Tiger and dragon coming in here. Okay, so let's read about Berkana because this is growth and it's clarified with an Ace of Wands. Some crazy good amazingness and a sprinkled frosted donut. This is usually a union card, a new passionate adventure or relationship. Wands clubs are usually work, too. Work, desires, passion. Okay, so you're open to it. You're open to receiving it. Because you learn the lesson, you're not going to repeat the pattern here, too. Do you see what did I learn from this situation where things were so frustrating in my life, or there was lack, or no matter how I tried with somebody or with something or some experience, it just wasn't working out. This too shall pass. And in the lack, we recognize what we truly value in those struggles. You see somebody's actions here as you know that they're depressed. Wow. And boy, have they been watching you. The Page of Swords now too. A rat. Yes, it's depression. The pain overpowers the feelings. There's something about shortcuts, hacks, spending patterns that are here too. Spending instead of circulating with this crow that is about using your smarts, okay? Ambitious and honest, but prone to spend freely. Quick to anger, compatible with dragons and monkeys, okay? My throat is getting sore the more I talk about this. Maybe we've over-talked something. Goodness. We're done talking about that. Let's move on to the growth. Goodness gracious. 123. A new start. Page 123. Growth, rebirth, and the birch tree. Another of the cycle runes, Berkana represents a form of fertility that fosters growth both symbolically and actually. The growth may occur in affairs of the world, family matters, and I felt that with this ring here, okay? The relationship of the self to the self or to the divine. A rune that leads to blossoming and ripening. Berkana is concerned with the flow of beings into their new forms. Its action is gentle, penetrating, and pervasive. What is called for here is to consider your issue with care and awareness. First, disperse your resistance, then accomplish the work. For this to happen, your will must be clear and controlled. Your motives correct. Any dark corners should be cleansed. This must be carried out diligently and sometimes with expert help. Modesty, patience, fairness, and generosity are called for here. Once resistance is dispersed and rectification carried out and seen to hold firm, then through steadfastness and right attitude, the blossoming can occur. Blossoming, Berkana, birch. Gentle, pervasive, penetrating energy coming into your reading here. Okay? Tell me more about this Ace of Wands. I'm going to grab another deck for my water signs. I didn't show you this. I deeply appreciate you. In the reverse, this truth in your heart, you don't feel appreciated for what you're doing in a work dynamic or in some sort of relationship. You've been looping with somebody. What did this person show you about your shadow self? Because you've been looping with somebody here. About your own value, about your own worth. That Seven of Swords reversed is like cutting like to the truth of the heart here. The Stellar J. What is this Ace of Wands about? This crazy amazingness for my water signs. A Queen of Cups. Yo. Family. Again, family dynamics, mother-father here. And also, if it's not mother-father, it's divine counterparts, your divine counterpart, so your divine feminine coming in here, a union of hearts. She's open to it. She's been shielding and guarding herself and maybe a little bit grilled in life. But she recognizes also her divinity. The pineapple is symbolic of that. So I'm going to read this king, the tiger's message here. This is the most amount of love I can pull out of the deck. This is you showing up for love, showing up for life, finding the joy in the journey here. The openness at the center of the pineapple and the sprinkled donut. Yo, the homemaker, the wife, the mother, the sensuous and loving one. And we have to remember to indulge in ourselves too. Water signs, that's what it says right down here. Self-indulgence. And it's all flowing to me. The abundance. Like I had to open up to it. I was being so guarded. Well, you were. Because you were dealing with a lot of shadow characters here in your past. It could have been within family dynamics is what I'm feeling here too. Okay, it had nothing to do with his contract. He had bigger fish to fry is what I said. That's what the small print says. And he knew it too. You knew something all along. You knew this was coming together. You knew that you guys were going to grow together. Or you knew this. He had to love louder than the fear too. Disperse the resistance, cleaning the corners, everything that I talked about with Berkana. And now we've got the fighting spirit of the tiger. A fighting spirit, aggressive and courageous, a sensitive, deep thinker. Is that not a Scorpio? You first came to mind. I'm not trying to exclude you, other water signs, but a sensitive, deep thinker who is true blue with their friends. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. True blue is Pisces. And you know that Cancer is like your best friend, right? They know how to hold the space. And they're going to be the one to adjust your crown and give it to you straight. And it can be a hard truth. I love all of you water signs. This one says, marry a horse or a dog, but beware of the monkey. We sure are talking about a lot of monkey business around here. Every time I pull out one of these things here. The dragon was talking about the monkey too, and the dog, the monkey and the dog. I think you had to set some pretty firm boundaries in your life, okay? And stand up for yourself. Walk the way that you talk, and will you fight for this love? You're fighting for love here, water signs. Yes, you are. Eye of the motherfucking tiger. It's on the bottom of the deck after the Queen of Cups. That everything I just said is the truth. The Judgment card and the Ace of Swords are combined in this deck. And epiphanies and light bulb moments. And somebody's head was just pretzeled. But this is also about breakthroughs in communication, yo. 20, the Judgment card. I love it. And 10 of Cups. And like the 7 of Wands showing up twice can be looked at in different perspectives here. Will you fight for this love? This can be the challenge accepted, right? But it can also be about growth and about trying something new. Life is trying a recipe that's adventurous. Okay? And this 10 of Cups is about miracles that are happening and that are manifesting and that are in creation mode right now. This would be like the end of the story where your dreams come true. And a beginning of a new fairy tale. Fairy tale love here. Remember that there's no limit on miracles, that they happen every day. In God's time, not yours. So work on yourself. Okay, and what did you learn? This is the student. This is like it's like maybe we didn't want to look at something. But where does our true nourishment lie? Reconnect your faith. Reconnect with your power, your source, your God. Also. Okay? That matters. Reconnect with what are you passionate about? What's the truth in your heart? Who do you love? Who do you love? Bye, you guys. I love you.